All right, welcome to your February planting guide, how to plant hot pepper seeds. First, we're going to go through everything that we need to plant hot pepper seeds. To start off with, we got our seed starter trays over on the left. We've got our soil, which is a mix of cocoa, coir, and compost and perlite. You want this to be nice and moist and a very light and airy soil. As you can see here, you want to be able to pick it up and squeeze it so that no drops of water come out, but that when you let go, it still holds its shape. And you see I screened it, but there is a stick left in there, so if you see anything like that, just pull it out. All right, next we have our Sharpie and our toothpicks and our masking tape for making our labels after we plant our seeds. And finally, we have our pepper seeds that have soaked overnight. On the left, we have Cayenne peppers. In the middle, we have Anaheim Chili pepper. And on the right, we have Jalapeno peppers. All right, to put it all together, we're going to take one of our seed starting trays and we're just going to lightly fill it up with some of our seed starting mix. You're going to want to pack it down a little bit. Now these are 3-inch deep trays, and you're going to want to pack it down till there's about 1/4 of an inch left between the tray and the top of the container. I mean the soil and the top of the container. There we go. I'm just going to fast forward here. If you ever put in too much, just pick it up, scrape the top little layer of soil back into your bucket, and keep going. There we go. I'm just scraping the excess soil off, and that looks perfect. Here we go. We're going to fast forward real quick. Fill up our second seeds tray. Make sure to press down so that there's about 1/4 inch. All right, the best part. Now we got our seeds. These seeds have been soaking overnight in a chamomile tea. You can use chamomile or turmeric or ginger. Any of them really for their antimicrobial properties. It helps make sure that the seeds don't grow any type of fungus or bacteria on them while they're sprouting, since hot pepper seeds can take a really long time to sprout. We're also soaking them overnight to help loosen up the shell so that when the roots do start to break through, they will have a much easier time of getting through to the soil. Now, as you can see here, I'm putting 3 seeds per tray, and that is just to ensure that every tray, every little seed cell there, every plug gets at least one successful one. If we have 3 later on, we can make the choice of if we want to keep all 3 of them, or if we want to pull out the 2 weakest ones and just keep the strongest one. That's really up to you. I suggest just clipping off the 2 weakest ones at the top of the soil. That way you don't disturb the roots of the strongest one and everything. Alright, and as you can see here, I'm just putting a very thin layer of soil on top of those seeds and lightly packing it down. You don't want them to be buried too deep. They germinate best when they are between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch below the top of the soil. So just right on top. Alrighty, let's fast forward here a little bit. Now we're working with our Anaheim chili peppers. These take about 80 days to maturity once they sprout, and they can take between 5 to 100 days to sprout, really, depending on when they think it's the optimal time. You can speed up how fast hot pepper seeds sprout by using a heating mat and keeping the root zone between 70 and 80 degrees. All right, now finally we're moving on to the jalapenos. Doing the same thing, we're placing 3 seeds in each cell just to make sure we have a nice strong plant. Excuse me. We don't want to waste all that time waiting on a cell that doesn't produce anything. And all of these seeds benefit from soaking overnight. A lot of people, because of how long these peppers take to sprout, a lot of people like to also sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon in here with the seeds for the antimicrobial properties. All right, now we're going to make the labels. Here's a quick, easy way to make labels at home or on the fly if you need them. I'm just going to take the masking tape, I'm going to write the name of my pepper, and then I'm going to wrap it around the toothpick. Here we have our cayenne peppers, and then we're going to put the date that we started germinating them so we can track how long it takes them to sprout. Make a piece twice as long as you think you need. Stick it down to your toothpick, and then just fold it over. And there you go. There's your tag for cayenne peppers. We're going to go ahead, do the same for the Anaheim chili peppers. Write our date that we germinated. Rip it off. And the same for jalapeno. Now we're going to move our seeds back and we're going to label them. We know that cayenne takes up 2 rows. Oh, there you go. Both of those rows. And then Anaheim takes up the middle 2 rows. Go back later and we'll make another tag for Anaheim just in case these get separated. And then our jalapeno over on the right hand side. Now we're going to put these on a heat mat and put them under a humidity dome just to help keep them moist. Again, we want to keep that root zone between 70 and 80 degrees, and we want to keep that soil nice and moist to help them germinate. You're also, on the same hand, going to want to give them some airflow, because if not, you will start to see a green mold or fungus or bacteria start to form on top of your soil. And that's no good. That can lead to damping off and root rot. If you don't have a greenhouse, you can also use a plastic tote or a Ziploc bag. Just spray the top of the soil to keep it moist. Stick your peppers in this bag to help hold in the humidity. And let them sit under a bright light until they sprout. You're going to want the peppers to already be under a bright light prior to sprouting, just because if they don't have light right when they sprout, then then they will start to stretch and become lanky, and we will run into problems later on. That's all I have for you. That's how to plant hot peppers in zone 4. Have a great day.